Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SSB Crack Exams. I'm Anuradha, and in today's session, I am going to tell you how you can tackle story narration and group discussion in the second part of your PPDT in SSB. Now, PPDT or Picture Perception and Discussion Test in SSB consists of two tasks that the candidates need to complete: A. Story writing, and B. Story narration and group discussion. In a previous session, I had already discussed some points and important tips to write the best stories for PPDT in SSB. In this session, I will provide to you certain important background information about the second phase of PPDT and the ways by which you can give the most outstanding performance in the story narration and group discussion part of PPDT. Before I go on any longer, let me tell you that now you can log on to ssbcrackexams.com and check out the different courses that have been exclusively designed for the different defense competitive exams. You can also download our mobile app from the Google Play Store and follow us on our YouTube channel, our Twitter page, our Instagram page, join our Telegram channel, and much more. So now I'm going to tell you what you need to do in part 2, that is the story narration and the group discussion part of PPDT. Now, after the candidates finish writing a story, they are divided in a team of 14 to 18 candidates, and then the teams are taken one at a time in a room. 3 assessors, viz. A psychologist, an interviewing officer, and a GTO preside in the room. The candidates are then made to sit in a semicircle, and one of the assessors interact with the candidates, giving them necessary instructions. The candidates are asked to narrate their stories individually first and then discuss among themselves to arrive at a common story by the group discussion. Finally, the candidates nominate a person among themselves who will narrate the final story to the board of the assessors. Then you'll ask me, what is the purpose of this second part, that is the narration and group discussion part of PPDT? Well, the candidates are assessed on their ability, skills, talents, and confidence to sustain for the rest of the 5 days of the SSB interview. The assessors test the candidates on how cool and composed one can stay in the midst of a heated and chaotic argument. The assessors also observe every aspect of your tone, body language, your attitude, your thoughts, your expression, your selection of words, and such while you speak. The time duration for part 2 of the narration and group discussion of PPDT consists of, firstly, 1 minute, which will be given to each candidate to narrate his or her story individually, followed by a 15 to 20 minutes time period is given to the group to discuss and arrive at a common story. And then again 1 minute is given to the nominated candidate to narrate the final story to the board of assessors. Now, there are certain things that you need to remember while narrating your story in the PPDT. Start by mentioning how many characters you saw in the picture, your main character, and the theme or action of your story. Narrate your story with proper pronunciation, accent, and voice modulation. Please don't use British or American accent, which is not your natural accent. Do not get nervous or scared while narration. Any undulations or jitteriness in the voice will catch and will work against you. Practice narrating a story at your home within a minute. Don't allow the examiner to say next. It creates the worst impression and can become a cause to get rejected in the screening test. After story writing, if you get a break, prepare to narrate your story as many times as possible. Know your story well before you start narrating. Speak concisely and to the point. Connect to the other group members by maintaining proper eye contact, shifting your gaze from one to the other as you speak. Use simple and short sentences while you narrate for everyone to understand. Look and act enthusiastic, excited, and confident. Don't overdo it. Keep a smile on your face no matter how much nervousness you feel. Now, how to tackle group discussion in PPDT like a pro. Group discussion or GD is among the most fearful and difficult tasks to accomplish in PPDT. It is how you are performing in GD that your selection for the stage 2 or psychological tests in SSB depends on. Anyone can write a good story or narrate it, for these are individual tasks. but not GD, which is a group task, and you have to convince others to come in agreement with your version of the story. This is same for others too. So as soon as the group discussion starts, everyone starts shouting at the same time, and the GD becomes chaotic and noisy like a fish market. So here are a few important and simple steps to tackle GD and impress your assessors. Firstly, pay attention to others when they narrate their stories. Look for some points or other in their stories on which you can base your argument and make references later in GD. Do not shout with the crowd. Wait for the time when they will be tired and their voices drop down. Seize this exact opportunity and begin your discussion speaking with a firm voice. Never try to dominate the discussion by forcing your perspective of the story on others. Listen to others' views, and if you have a valid point of argument, argue. It is not always so that you need to point out a flaw in others' stories. If you genuinely like someone's story, appreciate it and also tell the reason why you liked it. Go with the consensus of the group. And even if they don't agree to your story, ask them politely to nominate you for the final story narration to the board of the assessors. Don't allow to form subgroups within the main group. And if it happens, ask others politely to discuss the matter collectively. Do not speak for long. Give chance to others also to speak. If someone is not letting others speak, calmly tell him or her, please let others speak too. Or for yourself, you can say, may I please interrupt? You can repeat it 2 to 3 times if you are ignored, but not more than that. Never rise up from your chair and use too much and too many hand gestures while speaking or attracting others' attention. Sit with a perfect posture, look calm, and keep a smiling face. Do not look at your assessors during narration or GD. Put your points forward confidently in the group. Do not get upset or silent if you do not get a chance to speak. Support others who have valid and constructive points. Do not get aggressive and angry and get in heated altercations with the group members. Remove the thought from your mind that only your story should be accepted. Look for a common story. You need to think for the group and not for yourself in group discussion. Practice group discussions with your family members or friends regarding anything. This will help you immensely in the actual scenario. Do not panic. Try doing some breathing exercises or saying encouraging words to yourself just before the GD. Instead of entering into the discussion with a comment of disagreement, try saying, you really got a solid point over there. I like it. But you know, and then give your own views or perspective. People tend to cut short others who disagree with them while they listen to someone who appreciates and praises them. Always act as a team player and not a selfish being in GD. Keep a smiling face even when you are contradicting someone's viewpoints or arguments. So I hope going through these important points of information and the tips to perform the best both in story narration and group discussion in the second part of the PPDT, it will help you to prepare yourself much more efficiently and strongly to brave the PPDT and qualify for the stage 2 or the psychological test of the SSB interview. However, if you need any further help, you can just go on to Amazon or visit our website SSB Crack Shop and order for these books that will help you immensely to prepare well in advance and in a much better way for your PPDT section in SSB interview. Work hard, believe in yourself, dream big. Jai Hind.